everyone. Thanks again for joining tonight. So I just wanted to give you all a quick update for a couple minutes on the latest with the LSAT-Flex that was just administered today. So the May LSAT-Flex, it's going to be today and tomorrow primarily. And so those who took it today, it largely went smoothly. But if you were following any of the forums or the LSAT Unplugged Facebook group, there were, of course, a number of issues that came up. And I wanted to update you all on those in case you're taking the Flex either tomorrow or most likely in June or potentially even beyond that. So the good news is that people completed it successfully for the most part, but there are some issues to be aware of. First off, not all of the proctors knew the rules. Most importantly, the rules regarding scratch paper. So of course, on the Flex, just like the regular in-person LSAT, you are allowed scratch paper. For the digital LSAT in person, you got a booklet of 12 to 14 pages. For the Flex, you're allowed to use 5 sheets, which double-sided is 10 pages. And for 3 sections, that's a good amount of paper, roughly equivalent to what you would get per section for the in-person. And so if you're taking the Flex at any point in the future and the proctor on ProctorU tells you scratch paper is not allowed, tell them, no, you're wrong. Scratch paper is allowed, and ask them if you can show them on LSAC's site for the Flex test day rules that scratch paper is in fact permitted, because some proctors weren't aware and folks took it without scratch paper, which of course is ludicrous given that you need scratch paper to diagram logic games and it's useful for the other sections as well. So don't let the proctors tell you no when you are actually allowed. Secondly, some folks found it a little bit distracting to have their webcam light on the entire duration of the exam. Of course, they're monitoring you with a webcam throughout, and that little light next to your camera telling you you're being monitored is on the entire time. And so if you find that distracting or annoying, you might want to cover it up before the exam starts so that you're not distracted by it throughout. So those are a couple of things to be aware of. I'm trying to think of what else. I had a few notes related to this just so I could share with you the latest updates around that. Oh yeah, the other thing with the scratch paper is that they have you rip it up at the end. So they will typically ask you through their chat to rip it up in front of them on camera, and you can't see them, but they can see you. And so it's worth getting used to that. I know it could be a little bit uncomfortable to not know who's watching you on the other end, but it's worth getting used to that. So as you're doing your full-length timed exams, as you practice for the Flex or the regular, because you may not know what you're going to get, assuming Flex practice, you should do some exams with somebody watching you on the other end. So maybe a couple of folks can get together and you could take exams simultaneously with watching each other on the other end. On the end, and Shakir, to address your question directly, you don't see the proctor ever. So if you were actually watching the other person, your study buddy, as you're taking it, that wouldn't be a true representation entirely of what your actual exam will be like, because you never actually see the proctor, period. It's weird. They can see you, but you can't see them. And apparently on ProctorU's site, they indicate that you meet the proctor over video first, but that has not been happening for LSAT-Flex specifically. Reports from today indicated that the students never saw the proctors, period. You communicate with them through a text chat, but that's it. Nothing else. So you might study with a partner, or you might live stream yourself to YouTube or Facebook. Some folks will do a study with me. So look that up, study with me, where you hold yourself accountable by live streaming yourself. And so if you're getting up to get snacks or you're browsing social media, others would know that you were doing that, and possibly the accountability there would encourage you to stay focused. That's the idea of a study with me. But of course, during a timed LSAT-Flex exam, you're never actually able to get up, period. And so you're not going to the bathroom, period. There's no bathroom breaks on LSAT-Flex. You're doing those 3 sections back to back, and you're done for any normal test administration. Of course, for a 5-section exam, you would be able to get up in the middle during a break. And if you have extra time for whatever reason, then they may give you a bathroom break as well. But for the normal 35-minute 3-section exam, 3 sections back to back, 35 minutes each, you're never getting a bathroom break. And ProctorU has confirmed that. LSAC has confirmed that as well. That's just the deal. So definitely limit your coffee, tea, water, any other beverages before you start, and simulate your beverage intake throughout the day for what it might actually be like on the LSAT-Flex. So I'm happy to address any other questions you all have about LSAT-Flex, how it went today, in general prepping for LSAT-Flex, or anything that Leslie covered during our prior discussion. But those are just the quick updates I have based on what I learned today. And by the way, for those who got the wrong information from their progress around scratch paper, LSAC is going to work with those affected test takers to let them retake it. But obviously, you want to avoid being in that situation if at all possible. Thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already to be notified of new episodes as I release them. And feel free to reach out if you need anything at all as you move forward with your prep. I'm happy to help however I can. In the meantime, I wish you all the best and take care.